Shalom, Israel. So this is Isupk. We was on the 7th class. We're on 1 West 125th Street, New York, under Commander General Honor. We are not affiliated with any Hebrew Light group. You know, we been talking about Abraham, but we also we're gonna talk about Abraham and Sodom. You know, and just like you got to think. Everybody wants to have a piece of the covenant. You got the Israelis saying they are part of the covenant. Then you have the Israelites saying that, they both. I mean, when they had a while back, they had a treaty over there, the Children of Abraham treaty. I think that's what they call it, Treaty of Abraham. And even though the Israelites knew they weren't the true Jews, they just for gain, they went a part of it anyway, even though they know they're not the true children. They can say they are, the Israelites are the children of Abraham, but those Israelis, they are not. They are not. And they're gonna keep that. They're gonna try to keep that lie going. But we are the Isupk. We're gonna expose it. We're gonna expose it all the way. We're gonna keep screaming it. We're gonna keep saying, like they say in Isaiah 58:1, cry loud and spread not. We ain't gonna spread your feelings. You ain't the true Jews. You ain't the true Hebrew Israelites, and you know it. Always have known it. But now finna get off into the say a miser, stand, wapanya, turn to face the east. Say the Lord's Prayer. Is it Abanawa, Shabbat Wadash, Ayah, Shaka, Yahweh, Balabaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Ayah, Asha, Barataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashabaya, Nathanawa, Lakar, Ka, Yawana, Basalat Nawa, Kawat Lanawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kabawakwa Yanawa, Wala, Babayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Awashanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalatwa, Wahala, Walapara, Lawalaya, Amen. In the English, it reads, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be it. It's Hakash, power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Wab Shai, the Father Nawa, Akash, La Rapa'ah, Kabakala, Wakamadawa, Akash, La Taha, Hatamazaria, Akash, La Hawaia, Amataya, Akash, Rakawa, Hatamala, Lagarsha, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the Balama. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you so big. The blessings in Hebrew. He's going to do the blessings. Barakathar Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shai, wa Mayakala, wa Halaya, wa Tazabaya, Alawak Yahana. Ha Alawapya, Ha Saraya, Ha Patazaya, Ha Kayaya, Wahaka Akyam, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the water Aman in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Hannah, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you so big. See, bless Israel. Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Lanawa, Waya Sharala, Waya Baya, Sarapayim, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the Wadaman in the English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless and Israel and the school, bless us and Israel and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew, and it reads, Asha, Ayana, Ahahayam, Mahayahayam, Yabaa, Azariah, Ma'am, Yahweh, Asha, Shemayam, Wa'aratazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Wagalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamah, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Ayah, Yaka, Yawawam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Vayarash, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Ata, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaka, Wamawaka, Mata, Walam. In the English, in the Greek, I will lift up my eyes into the hill, from whence cometh my help? My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, even forevermore. Psalms 83, it reads, Alahayam, Adamayalaka, Al Tasharash, Wa'al Tashakwat, Al Kayahana, Wapawa Yayaka, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Amaka, Ya'arayam, Yawa, Sawada, Wa'ayata, Ya'atazawa, Atazapawa Yaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Wanakai Adam, Magaya, Wala'a, Yazaka, Sham Yasharala, Awada, Kayas, Nawatazawa, Laba, Yakadawa, Ayaka, Baya, Yakaratawa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wa Shamai, Alayam, Mawaba, Wahagaria, Gabal, Wahamawan, Wahamala, Halasha, Yashabia, Kazawa, Gam Ashawa, Lalawa, Aman, Ayawa, Zarawa, Lamaya, Lawa, Salah, Asha, Laham, Kamaya, Kasa Sarah, Kaya, Yabya, Badaka, Kwaya Swan, La Shama, Mawa, Bayandarwa, Kaya Yan, Banaka, Washawan, La Shamawa, Bayandarwa, Ayawa, Dama, La Adama, Shaya Tamwa, Nada Yamawa, Kara, Wakazaba Zaba, Wakazaba, Wakazamana, Kadai Sayi Yakamawa, Ashar, Amawa, Naya Shah, Lanawa, Ata, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Sayatama, Kagaga, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Kahash, Tabarayara, Wakalaba, Talahat, Parayam, Kaha, Dama, Basaraka, Wabasa, Wabataka, Taba Yahal, Malaa, Kayahan, Kalawan, Waya Bakwasha, Waba Kwaswa, Shaka, Yahweh, Waba Yabashwa, Waya Bahalawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparawa, Waya Bawa, Waya Hadawa, Kaya, Ata, Shaka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ayawan, Al-Kahara, Taza. In the English, we read, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Israelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, and with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assured us also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a rib and like Z. Yea, all the princes of Zabah and of Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth their wood, as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. Let's see here. Get these curses. These curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers in the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen, and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the government of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinhead, Project Kamataza, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies working on witchcraft, national space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, opened up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift death to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their stronghold. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. And then Yahweh Shai, thank you always so big. Sorry. See? Yeah. I mean, everybody want a piece of the pie, you know. Everybody want to say, hey, they the children of Abraham and all that. Well, you know, they are. So like I said before, some are the children of Abraham, you know, like the Israelites, they are Abraham's children, you know. They Abraham's children.
But those Israelis, no, they're not. You know. Wow. No, they're not. You know, we've been going finishing going into the store. Abraham, you know, we stopped at Genesis. Let's see. Yeah, Genesis 17. Yeah, we just say shalom to the chat, you know, see you up in there, you know. So Genesis 17, you know, this was Abraham, you know, he got to be an old man, like 90, you know. People like us, we wish we could see 90, you know. Nowadays, you know, you barely get into your 30s and 40s, you know, if you don't have some kind of illness or somebody that took you out, you know. But this Abraham get to see his 90s, you know. When Abraham was 90 years old, verse 17. I mean, chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abraham was 90 years old and 9, so he was 99, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And that's what the Most High, you know, told Abraham back then. This is what you know, this was the IS3K telling you now, you know, walk before God to be perfect, you know. But you know, you got so many roadblocks in the way. Christianity tell you, okay, nobody be perfect, you know. You know, they were special kind of men. They regular guys just like us, you know. They would say, hey, they you know, some of them was different from others. Some of them was straight killers. You know, some of them was straight killers, and God made mighty men out of them. You know, they made men out of some the people call you know dirt. You know, he ain't my nigga, and God made mighty men out of people like that. See how he did Moses. Moses was a murderer. Paul was a murderer. You know, and see what Christ did to the 12 disciples. You know, he told them, you know, drop whatever you're doing, come follow me. You know, even though he had more than 12, you know, 12 stayed, and that's what he worked with. The 12, he ain't need no 200-300. He need no 200-300. You know, he no 200-300 men. He used 12 men. You know, he used 12 men and to get his word across. You know. Let me and it said, verse 2, and I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. You let Abraham, let Abraham know, you know, he gonna make a covenant with him, and he gonna multiply. You know, I mean, all his children he gonna be rich. You know, he gonna have plenty of children. You know, seed to go through all the planet Earth. You know, even though he don't see it right now, he said, you know, because he right now he just got one, but he believed in God so much that he did whatever he said. That's why that Abram was the friend of the Most High. Mm-hmm. These are verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, verse 4, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. He wasn't lying. Most High kept his promise. And Abraham became a father of many nations. You got the 12, 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, and we spread it all abroad. We all over the world. Even though we may be through here, through there, but we all over the world. Just imagine when we all get together. Like take the Passover when we all get together. There'd be so many of us you can't even count us. So we be like ants out there. Them just the adults. Just imagine we bring our kids and stuff like that. You really can't count us then. Like some sisters having kids like 6 to 6 a clip. So it's just like You got 6 brothers. Then they all their kids. So there's some like 40 people right there. 40, 50 people right there with their children. And just imagine everybody else. So you can't count them, you know. I'm glad General don't even expose our numbers, you know. Like the IUIC, they figure, hey, we can march about 50 or 60 us down the street, or when they had count, it's about 30. We had count, we just have, you know, I remember when it was just 4 of us before our camp group. It was just 4 of us having camp. That's all it was. No different, you know, just like the KC4. You know, we did just like they went out there, you know, and screamed at the wind. That's all. We did the exact same way. We still do it now. You know, now in the capital grows, so we got a few more troopers, few more young men. You know, few more officers. So we grew Louisiana growing. I mean, we was just real small. We growing. We had sisters. You know, we got awesome sisters off of here. You know, awesome sisters. You know, then we got a little priesthood training. You know, coming up. You know, got little princes in training. You know, we got all that. You know, I mean, it was just a small group of us, and now we have grown. It'll be pretty soon we're gonna need a bigger school. Pretty soon we're gonna need a bigger school. Okay, let me see. Verse 5 it says, neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. So that's what the Most High told him to say. Your name no longer Abram, it's Abraham. He said, because I'm going to make you a father of many nations. Abraham wonder how that's going to be, being that he up in age, but it ain't nothing too hard for the Most High. Ain't nothing too hard. Verse 6, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Verse 7, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations. For an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. So he's going to be a God unto Abraham. Going to be a God unto Abraham. Long as Abraham followed his law, statutes, commandment. Now he wasn't doing it just to be doing it. He doing it because Abraham followed him. When the Most High, he listened to everything the Most High said. The Most High said, pick up, go. Abraham went. He left his family because the Most High said, leave your family. He wanted to get them away from them idol worshippers. It's like, no one to get them away from them idol worshippers. Verse 8, and I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession. I will be their God. And that's, people don't even understand, that covenant exists today. That's why the eyes can't follow these laws, statutes, commandments. But like you said, you got these Christians tell you, hey, can't nobody follow the law. Only one that followed the law was Jesus. No, we do it. We do it. We follow these laws, statutes, commandments. We afflict our flesh. Because we know we're part of Abraham's tree. We want, like I said, we want to go up in them chariots. Like while you waiting on the rapture, we waiting on the chariots to come on down. Go ahead, sing the Anita Baker song, get caught up in the rapture of love. You'll be caught up in the lake of fire. That's the thermonuclear war. That's what you're gonna get caught in. We trying not to get caught up in that. We trying to get on these chariots with the angels. Verse 9, and God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generation. Verse 10, this is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and the seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. Everybody don't do that, but Circumcision was big back then. That was like a covenant between you and God. That's what the circumcision was for. But it got to the point where a different circumcision came, where you had to circumcise your heart, change your ways. Your heart is your mind. You change your mind. And start following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the circumcision now. You can cut off foreskin all you want to. If you ain't change your heart, your mind, to start following these laws, statutes, and commandments, hey, that's all for that then. Mm-hmm. It's all for that. Verse 11, and you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and this shall be a token of a covenant betwixt me and you. So that was between the Most High and Abraham. That everybody, that he gets circumcised, and all his children get circumcised. Verse 12, and he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation. He that is born in the house or bought with money, or any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. That goes on to the day. That goes on to the day. Not like I said, it's not the physical circumcision anymore, but you have some say, God knows my heart. You got them still saying that, yeah, but the scripture also says, who can know it? Who can know it? Most I say, I try to reign. I don't want to hear, he ain't trying to hear, I know your heart. You're right. I do know your heart. And it's evil and wicked. It's evil and wicked. You say one thing, but you do another. You do another. How can you say you love your brother, but you talk about your brother? You dog your brother. How can you say you love your sister when you talk about your sister? You dog your sister. That's what Most High looking at right there. He looking at that right there. When you say he knows my heart, he sees what your heart doing. You're not loving your brother, you're not loving your sister. Let me see, verse 14. And the uncircumcised man, child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. Verse 15. Well, so anybody that was in Abraham's house and they can get their foreskin cut, they got cut off forever. They got cut off from the Most High and his blessings and all that. Verse 15. And God said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. Verse 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah that is 90 years old? That is funny. And today, that'll be funny to see a man 100 and a woman 90 have a baby. That would be something, but to the Most High, that ain't nothing for the Most High to do, though. If the Most High said he's gonna do it, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done. Most High told him, hey, but Abraham had to laugh. He just had to laugh. I just know my old butt ain't finna have no babies. And just think about doing the act, because it's an act that take place for you to have a baby. He laughing about that. His knees bad, his back bad. He thinking about it. Can I do it? Can I do the deed? He thinking like that. Well, anything about the mother, hey, will she want? But let me see. Verse 18. Abraham said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. Verse 19. And God said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. So the seed was with. See, Abraham was going to have 2 sons. He already had one, Ishmael. Now he's going to have Isaac, and that's who the Most High will go have his covenant with. Now, all you Israelites out there listening, you are not part of the covenant. Keep walking around that rock that you do. You pull out the prayer rug, pray 17 times a day. That's who your God is. You know, like I said, you know, anyway, if anybody that knows something to read a little bit, would know that the Prophet Muhammad copied, you know, the Jews of antiquity. You know, he followed them all around. He was in the marketplaces. You know, he copied. You know, he made Islam copy. You know, at one time, Islam used to face Jerusalem. You know, but they didn't want to co-sign Islam, so they started facing Mecca. Yeah, start facing Mecca. You know, as they walk around that rock about 7 times. Now, you know, before they find Islam, you know, they you know, just like they still doing, you know, they worship 1,000 gods. You know, they ain't them, but now they just, instead of 1,000 gods they used to worship, now they got one God to worship. You know, and he's an idol. You know, he's a rock. That's who Allah is, a rock. You know, don't get mad because you're going to tell the truth. You know, Allah is a rock. You know, he ain't nothing but a rock. Let me see here. Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him. And I will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he begot, and I will make him a great nation. Now, they never did one time say, hey, he wasn't gonna get blessed because he wasn't Abraham's children. Made 12 princes, but the covenant wasn't with them. So that's the thing about the covenant, wasn't with the Israelites. It was with Isaac. It was with Isaac, not Ishmael. So you may see them. They over here. They running the corner store. You know, you see them making all kind of money off you every day. Yes, they got blessed. That's what the Most High promised Abraham for his seed, because you know he was the seed of Abraham. Ishmael is, and those are, you know, his children. So hey, that's their blessing. But we have a blessing too. We got to come back to the Most High, follow these laws, statutes, commandments. You know, get back under the covenant of Abraham. You know, and start following these laws, statutes, commandments, for we can be blessed too. You know, we'll be just like they are. You know, we're supposed to be above them, not that they are above us. You know. Verse 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. Verse 22. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. Verse 23. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskins in the self same day, as God had said unto him. And verse 24. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Verse 25. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Verse 26. In the self same day was Abraham circumcised and Ishmael his son. Verse 27. And all the men of his house, born in the house and bought with money, other strangers, were circumcised with him. So everything the Most High told him to do, he did. What you're supposed to be doing right now. When you hear the ISP tell you, hey, that you are supposed to be a holy people. Holy means separate. You know, you ain't doing what the other nations doing. You know, we follow these laws, statutes, commandments. That's the thing about being separate. You know, You ain't doing what other nations doing. They smoking and drinking, you know, and being drunks and alcoholics. Oh, you're not being there. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a drink, but being a drunkard. You know, that's against the Most High. Verse 18, chapter 18. And the Lord spake unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat at the tent, and sat in the tent door of the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground. Verse 3, it said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Verse 4, let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And you see how neighborly Abraham was? I mean, you see, you know, he must have known that, you know, there was some service, you know, angels, you know, he was quick to go meet him. You know, quick to go meet him and seek what he could do for him. Verse 5, and I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do, as thou hast said. Verse 6, and Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, kneaded, and make cakes upon the hearth. Verse 7, and Abraham ran into the herd, fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hastened to dress it. So he went and grabbed the best lamb he had, you know, finna get ready to you know, skin them and dress them and get them ready to eat. So they can eat good. Verse 8, and he took butter and milk and the cow which he had dressed and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. Verse 9, and they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. Verse 10, and he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Verse 11, now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. In other words, Sarah was too old to have children. You know, she had passed her time, you know, her time for having children was over with, you know. In verse 12, therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? I mean, they finna do the do at that age. You know, she could, you know, she laughed to her son. I just know he lied. You know, like I said, ain't that too hard for God. God put that spirit on you. You know, he'll make that back stop hurting. You know. Let's see. In verse 13, and the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I seriously bear a child which am old? Verse 14, is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah, verse 15, then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not, for she was afraid. And he said, nay, but thou didst laugh. Verse 16, and the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. Verse 17, and the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Verse 18, saying that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoke of him. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous. Verse 21, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it. Now you know Sodom and Gomorrah, that was the first LGBTQ They were the first one to say, be loud and be proud. They the first one that said, I'm coming out. They the first one that said, peekaboo, I'm out the closet. You know, and it, you know, the Most High had been watching it for a while, you know. So he been watching that. He's like, you know, they cried and went up to him. He's like, hey, I just know these people ain't doing that. You know, the witches come unto me, and if not, I will know. Verse 22. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before the Lord. Abraham drew near and said, will thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? So Abraham, like, you know, Father, is you gonna destroy the righteous with the wicked? You know, I know it's some wicked people there, but it's some righteous people there. You gonna kill them along with them? You know, you ask the question. You know, peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city, will thou also destroy us and spare the place for the 50 righteous that therein? Verse 25. That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee, shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, if I find inside of 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which I am but dust and ash. Peradventure, verse 28, peradventure, there shall lack 50 righteous without destroying all the city for the lack of 5. He said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. Verse 29, and he spake unto him yet again, and said, peradventure, there should be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, oh, let not the Lord be angry. I mean, yeah, he asked a whole lot of questions, you know. He asked a whole lot of questions, you know. Well, every time he turn around, you know, he asked another question. And I would speak. Peradventure, there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry. I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure, 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way. As soon as he had left communion with Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Verse 19. So now he done asked the Most High all these questions. You know, hey, if there ain't number 10 righteous people in that city, you won't destroy. He said, hey, for 10's sake, I won't. You know, and the Most High keeps his word. But we're going to go and get up into this. He said, and there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, behold, verse 2, and he said, behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and you shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed, verse 3, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered unto his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Now these right here, these are angels. These are death angels. They come into Sodom and Gomorrah and want to see for themselves, you know, is it true? For they could report back to the Most High. Verse 4. Yeah, verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned into him and entered into his house, and he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Verse 4. But before they laid down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, passed the house around, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. Verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. Now, ain't that some nasty stuff? Bring them out, you know, but we can know them. Let's hit these scriptures right quick. You know, let's go to Leviticus 18 and 22. Let's see what they got to say about it. What the Most High got to say about it. Leviticus 18:22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. So that's what the Most High sent the angels down just see was they doing that kind of abomination. You know, he wanted to see, he wanted a report. And that's exactly, you know, what's about to go down. They trying to get the angels, you know. The reason more else you even talk about some homosexuality in the scriptures right quick. Well, 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. Yes, 6 and 9. Said, know you not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. That mean your cousins that they got them feminine ways. That's effeminate. They ain't getting it, you know, nor abuse of themselves with mankind. You know, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God. So all y'all think, you know, like the LBGTQ, and they got their own Bible, you know, they got their own churches, they gonna make it to the kingdom of heaven. You know, I hate to tell you, you know, the Most High don't hear them. He don't hear their prayers. He don't hear nothing they got to say. You know, he don't hear nothing they got to say at all. You know, but let's go to Leviticus 20:13. I mean, this is just, you know, Leviticus 20:13. If a man also lied with mankind as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Nah, there you go right there. That's all I'm gonna read. You know, letting you know right there. Homosexuality is an abomination. You know, and this is what these men doing. Okay. He said in verse 6, and Lot went out the door unto them and shut the door after him. Verse 7, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do you to them as is good in your eyes only. Unto these men do nothing. Man, woo, this man had 2 fresh daughters. He finna give his daughters away, for they won't touch these men. That is, you know, that was some brotherhood right there. You finna give up your daughters, you know, to this mob. You know, that was some brotherhood right there. You know, let me see. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. Verse 9, it says, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. Verse 10, but the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut to the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So, hey, you know, that's a shame. The angels had to step in. You know, they had to step in, you know, because they were getting ready to break down the door. They just pulled them in. They said, hey, we done seen enough. You know, we done seen enough. Verse 11, they smote the men. Yeah, okay. Verse 12, and the men said unto Lot, hey, hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. Verse 13, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. And Lot Verse 14. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seen as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. Verse 15. And when the morning arose, he he told me, God, they son-in-law was like, huh? They ain't even believe him. But they love that place. They love Sodom and Gomorrah. They didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave. And when the morning rose, the angel hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. Verse 16. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him. And they brought him forth and set him without the city. Verse 17. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. Verse 18. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Verse 19. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Verse 20. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. It is not a little one, and my soul shall live. Verse 21. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Verse 22. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. Verse 23. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Verse 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Verse 25. In other words, he let a meteor shower come down. It's about what I can think of. It could be a meteor shower. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she came a pillar of salt. So they told him, don't even look back. Don't nobody just keep going. He said, "Oh, you gonna be consumed." She looked back and became a pillar of salt. And that's the lesson to be learned. Most I tell you to keep going forward. Don't look back at your past life, because that's what nothing. What you're doing now, you're in this truth. That's what you pay attention to. Don't pay attention to what you was. Pay attention to who you are now. Verse 27. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. Verse 29. And it came to pass when God destroyed the cities of the plain that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. Verse 30. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar. And he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. His daughters up there, they contemplating. They say, they thinking the whole world been destroyed. You probably would when you see the Lord's work. You probably, that probably look like he destroyed the whole entire world. But they talking among themselves. Hey, there ain't no man around. Get to see, Verse 32. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. First of all, that's why, you know, we have laws, statutes, commandments, but that kind of stuff don't go down. You know, incest, you know, incest. Let me see. Verse 33. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Verse 34. And it came to pass on the morrow, that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in, and lie with him, that we may preserve the seed of our father. See, a lot of probably drinking thinking, you know, you probably thinking the whole world gone too. We just drinking, you know, just drinking his problems away, you know. Say let him be sad, let him drink. You know, that's what he's doing. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger rose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. So he got full of it. He was so full, he didn't know when she came in, he didn't know when she left out. You know, they knew what they were doing. They got him some of that good wine. Well, you know, when he wake up, he ain't gonna know what's going on. Mm-hmm. Verse 36. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. Verse 37. So that's instance right there. And the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab. I think Moab name would I think they would be the Japanese. This is where the Japanese and the Chinese come from incest. You know, that's why they have those, you know, those funny made faces, those slanty eyes, and you see how they can't never talk good English. You know, a lot of them can't. Some, you know, very few you'll meet come over here can speak proper English, but most of them can't even speak in English. You know. You know, the same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. 38. And the younger, she also bare a son and called his name Ammon. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. Now that's what that's what that's the story of incest in the Bible. That's where you ever wonder where they come from. They come from Lot, sleeping with his two daughters. This is where the Ammonites and the Moabites come from. It's like, you know. And I'm gonna stop it right there. You know, I just want to let you know, you know, when Most High tell you to do something, hey, you do it. You hear us on these street corners, or you catch one of our videos, you know, believe it. You got people here that gave up, you know, a lot to follow the Most High. You just think, you know, and the thing about it, you look at it, it really wasn't nothing. Because now you done gained so much more because you got, you know, the Most High watching over you now. You got brothers and sisters now. You're part of a family. Being in this Isupk. You know, no, we're not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group. And you see why, you know, with the KC4, you know, 4 men against 30. And then more pulling up. Then they call the police. So tell them that the brother had a gun. They could have walked up there and shot him 15 times in the back and nothing been said. So I believe that's what they wanted to happen, you know. And they know you'll never tell a cop he got a gun. They shooting first, ask questions later, as they always do. But that's my class. You know. It's a module, you know. It's our turn. Hey, Steve. Read the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Wadash, Ayah, Shakah, Yahweh, Malabaka, Aba'ah, Adazaka, Ayah, Asha, Baharataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamaya, Yaya, Nathanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawan, Masalat Lanawa,
Kabawath Yanawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Wala'a, Baba Ya'awa, Bayasayawa, Abal, Habashanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalatwa, Bahala, Balapara, La Walaya, Aman, in English. Our Father which is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and give us our debts, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be it. Oh, bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Balak Lanawa, Washara, Washala, Wayabaya, Sarabaya, Barak Rapah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wadaman. Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us in Israel and the school, bless, heal, shield, and protect. In the name of Yahushua, thank you so be. Blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Why Yahushua, Bamayach Yahweh, Bahala Matazapaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapya, Ha Saraya, Ha Quatazaya, Ha Kaya Yahya, Baha Arapia, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wadaman, in English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushua, and Michael, and angels, Commander General Yohanan, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you so be it. Akash Tapal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Babakashah, Nawa, Akash, Larapa, Kala Malakia, Malak, Kama Kala, Waka Madawa, Akash Lataha, Hamatazaria, Akash Laraquaya, Hayamathia, Akash Arawakawa, Hatamala, Lagarsha, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wadaman. Yahweh in the name, in English, Yahweh in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you so be it. See. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Ashah, Ayana, Ahahaya, Mahayan, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ma'am, Yahweh, Ashah, Shamayan, Ba'arataza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Ayanawam, Shamaka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Bala'ah, Yashashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamaka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Ayah, Yamyaka, Yamawan, Yawama, Yaha, Hashamad, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayara, Bala, Yala, Yahweh, Yashamaka, Makarai, Yashamar, Ata, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazahaka, Wabawaka, Ba'ata, Wala Alam. In English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hill, from whence cometh my help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayam, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Tasharash, Al-Tashakwa, Al-Kayahana, Al-Wayaka, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Yamaka, Yama, Sadawa, Wayata, Yatazawa, Atazawa, Wanyaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Ayado, Magaya, Wala, Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Nawatazawa, Laba, Yakadawa, the Yaka, Barya, Yaka, the Wa, Ahaya, Adawan, Wa Yashama, Alayan, Ma Wa Ba, Wahagaria, the Baal, Wa Amawan, Wa Malak, Palasha, and Yashabya, Tazawa, Ganamashawa, Nalawa, Aman, Ayawa, Zerawai, Labayalawat, Salah, Asha Lahar, Kamaya, Kasaya, Sarah, Kamaya, Anakal, Kwa Yashwan, Nashama, Dawa, Maya Dara, Hayawa, Dama, La Dama, Shayatamawa, Nada Yamawa, Kara, Wakazamana, Kanasayakama, Asha, Amawa, Naya Shah, Lanawa, Ata, Nawa, Alahaya, Yashatawa, Kagaga, Kakwash, Lapanya Waka, Kaash, Tabara Yara, Wakalaba, Talahat, Harayan, Khan, Taradama, Basaraka, Wabasa, Babavka, Tabahalam, Malaa, Dama, Basaraka, Wabasa Wapaka, Tabahalam, Malaa, Payahan, Kalawan, Waya Bakwaswa, Shaka, Yahweh, Babashwa, Payahan, Palawan, Waya Bakwaswa, Shaka, Yahweh, Babashwa, Waya Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparawa, Waya Habawa, Waya Dawa, Waya Bahawa, Salaki, Kaya Ata, Waya Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparawa, Waya Dawa, Waya Dawa, Kaya Ata, Shaka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ayawan, Abkaha, Aratazak. In English, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumble. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden one. They have said, come, let them cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, the Baal and Ammon, the Amalek, the Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto Midianites, as unto Sarah, as to Jabin at the brook of the sun, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a Rorel, and like Zahid, yea, all the princes of Zabah and of Zebunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as a fire burns a wood, and as a flame sets the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever, yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen and shake loose the pockets of rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school. What's their riches until thy sanctuary? Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the Edomite and the nations and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments are our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Positive Kamikaze, the gay movement, the lesbian movement,
spies, book of the witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, opening up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels, to break the spirit of any of thy people that seek to try to seek to stop us and bring swift death to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the terrorists, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their stronghold. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known that by all that is angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you also so big. So I turn. So the Halloween we give one courtesy salute. My Sabbath, Barak, Yahweh Bashim, Yahshua Barakathon. Sorry for the sisters. One courtesy salute. In Israel, all right, Sabbath, Barak, Yahweh Shema Athon Bashim, Yahshua.
Yahweh Shema Athon Bashim, Yahshua.
Class is missed.